Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the podcast, another episode of Caffeine and Green with your man, Connor Cardenas. And before we get into it, I just want to give a huge shout out to one of the main sponsors of Caffeine and Green, which is 7 Seas Roasting Company, coming straight out of San Diego, California. An amazing coffee roaster that I happen to work for. But other than that, I mean, the coffees that we're dealing with are coffees that are from Southeast Asia, from Vietnam, from Laos, from Mexico, all over the world, really. But we have amazing coffees coming out, and we have some new selections for you. So if you head over to the website, you're going to be seeing a new launch of a Lao coffee that we have coming out called the Non Kali. It has a little bit of dried mango flavor, a little bit of butter cookie, and some almond. I mean, it is fire if I've ever had some Laotian coffee. That's all I got to say about that one. And for all you decaffeinated woke people out there, I would definitely say decaf. I know. Believe it or not, decaf is finally available at 7 Seas. So if you've been wanting to try the coffee but haven't been able to because it's been a little too caffeinated for you, head over, pick up that decaf. And furthermore, if you go ahead and when you're at checkout, use code C&G, all one word, CANDG at checkout, you're going to get the deal 3 for $30. So you can get the non-Kali, you can get a bag of decaf, and then one of our other stapled coffees. Unfortunately, the charity roasts don't apply to this deal, but we have so many other coffees, you'll be able to get that. And that's a no-brainer because that's one bag of coffee for free. One bag of coffee is $16. If you get two of them, that's $32. 3 for $30, it's a no-brainer. So head over to the website, put in code C&G at checkout to get that deal. And the newest sponsor of Caffeine and Green, shout out to Thorn Street Brewery. It's a brewery here in San Diego on Thorn Street, and it's in North Park, and there's also one in Barrio Logan, but they basically have come aboard. I mean, they have amazing beers, a new one called Tread Lightly that is fantastic for all you healthy people out there. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, but so shout out to the newest sponsor. Thank you again, and hopefully all y'all will start drinking that Thorn Street, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Dennis. All right, y'all. My guest today is quite a rad individual. He is an inspirational individual, and most of all, he's motivational. Of course, I'm talking about my man, Austin Naylor. That's right. My G right here. I just met him today, and right off the bat, me and him hit it off. There's just some people that you meet in life, and without knowing him, without even knowing too much of his backstory, we clicked. Whether it was skateboarding, whether it was just determination, working out, just what motivates you to keep going, me and Austin hit it off. I mean, he is such, you just have to hear his story. I won't even do it justice. You need to hear what he's gone through, what he's doing, and what he continues to do. Without further ado, my man, Austin Naylor. This your time to shine, homie. Let's go. Give me caffeine and green. It's your boy Connor. What's good? Caffeine and green. And we are live.
Boom.
Yes.
Here we are.
Austin Naylor, welcome to Caffeine and Green, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Dude, I have to say, right from the get-go, we've already been just hitting it off. I think this is super rad that we end up knowing a lot of the same people.
Right.
This is the first time I've met
weird.
you.
Yeah.
Actually, I did watch one of our 7 Seas videos, and I think you were there at our
We've
grand
been
opening.
at events together, yeah.
Okay, but just never formally met.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, in that case, just meeting you today, we've know a lot of the same people. We ended up running into one of my homies at the store we were just at, and and then that kind of just snowballed. Oh, this guy, and that's pretty sick. Yeah. And that's actually one of the things I want to talk about because before I jump ahead, you did skateboard. You grew up skateboarding.
I was super into skateboarding.
Yes.
Out of all the stuff that I do, I was probably the best at skateboarding. I did. I was telling you, I went to Torrey Pines and did skate PE.
Yeah.
So my class every other day was to go skateboard for my PE credit, and so just from there got super good, super into it. Skated with Wes and Marius. Those guys are pros now, legends, and so you skate with them, they just pushed you, and so with, we'll get into it, the whole ankle injury, like that's like honestly one of the biggest bummers is like I can't skate anymore. And I'll try every now and then. Like I did a kickflip this last year.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like
dude, sick.
like,
Yeah,
like it's so like amateur, but it's like, dude, like just to be able to do something on a skateboard still, like that, you get that feeling just like, when you started and you try a trick over and over. I'm like back to that, but I keep telling myself I want to try to push it a little more and like go hit a skate park or something,
dude.
But I, at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to land primo or do anything to where my ankles are already so bad and I just make them worse. So it's like that fine line of like, but I'm sure I'll go do something someday.
Dude, okay. As a skateboarder, I mean, I've told you before the podcast, I broke my back.
Yeah.
And I've broken my ankles, both of them, severely sprained ACL, all these things. And after the last one, when I broke my back and I dislocated my hip too, it's taken me years now, like 2, maybe 3 years. And now I can like skate. Yeah. I can actually fall too. I've been falling and I'm good. But I like through working out, through doing these things, another reason why you were on the show is that it's like, it's been able to help me get there, but I've realized like there's no way I can do the tricks I was doing before. And just to be able to like pump and go fast.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And like just do normal stuff.
Yeah, dude. I can't jump very much. I can do ollies, but it's mainly transition. And I'm all, holy crap, dude. This was, when you're young, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna get older and I'll just pump bowls. And it's like, I'm not that old, but I'm like, damn, all I can do is just like pump bowls.
Yeah. Hey, but at least you can pump bowls. Like that's a list of injuries right there. So.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure you could do something like that. You don't need to do it like a crazy tricks or nothing, but just just pump around, maybe hit a mini ramp or something.
I went snowboarding for the first time this last year, and was so much better than I thought I was gonna be. And just being in the boot, so my ankle was okay. And dude, I was hitting all the rails, all the jumps, everything. I was like,
really?
Yeah, because I lived in Utah for a couple years and was snowboarding like every weekend, twice a weekend, all the time. Got really good. But then since the injury hadn't gone since, just like kind of for fear of like hurting it, and just it was easy, it's chilling.
Dude,
so
that's
I just
sick.
need to go to a skate park and hit it up. But should we get more into about?
Yeah. So
getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I know, dude. See, that's what I mean. When we start kicking it, and then having all these common interests, like, dude, it's gonna be easy. But the reason I wanted to have you on, you, sir, are an ambassador for 7 Seas.
That's right.
And yep, shout out Eric, shout out 7 Seas, all that whole crew. And it kind of, Eric's always said, hey, I can get you guests. Like, if we have ambassadors in town, would you have them on the show? I'm like, hell yeah. So then I started researching you, and Eric lined that up. And in researching who you are, I found out, like, not only did you skate, but you got really into motocross.
Oh, yeah.
And then to now where you're like on bodybuilding.com, these are things I'm like, what the hell? But then I'm so intrigued and so interested. I wanted to have you on and to tell your story because there's, excuse me, in doing my research, the story that I heard, what had happened to you was so like, damn, inspirational, motivational. So that's why I wanted to have you on. I wanted to give you a platform to try to explain and like, not even explain, but just tell people what you've gone through.
Yeah, man.
So you were in a motocross and then you had an accident.
Yeah, so super active family growing up here. I grew up in Del Mar until 4th grade. Moved to Temecula in 5th, 6th, and then Utah for 7th, 8th, and then back to Del Mar for 9th to 10th. So
nice.
Throughout all of that was a lot of dirt biking, skateboarding, snowboarding, just constantly at each place, just doing the next thing outdoors kind of. But dirt biking was always the main thing. And so once I was able to drive, I started doing the whole race thing, taking myself to the races. And so like was getting into it, and definitely being down in Southern California, this is like the mecca for dirt bikes. Like all the freestyle guys just live up in Riverside and Temecula and places like that. And we have so many tracks here compared to a lot of places that are all within like an hour drive. So the scene here is like really hot with young amateurs and like the race scene and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just being down here, like makes you even more competitive, because then you move out to other places and you kind of like, being you're less good here, but then if you go race somewhere else, you're like one of the top guys kind of thing. So the scene here elevates your riding skill really, really quickly. And is after high school, I went to MMI out in Arizona, which is a motorcycle mechanics institute.
Oh, wow.
And just was learning to wrench on bikes and stuff. Came back and was working in a shop, and I was riding a lot. And so I was going to the track a lot, putting in a lot of laps, and I was out there one weekend with my brother, and this was 2013, and just going through the motions kind of, and I came over like this little single jump, and then I needed to shift up, and then I'd just land on the gas and hit this triple jump that was right after it.
And how big is that?
The triple was probably like a good 70 to 80 feet. It was like one of the bigger jumps on like this track, and so you just land and be pinned on the gas on my 250 and just send it. And but when I went over that single, I clicked up, and it happens sometimes. The bike just misshifted. It didn't catch the next gear, so it stayed in second instead of going up into the third. And since I had just was just doing laps and laps and laps, I just landed. Did repetition, I pinned it, and as I'm going up the lip, I was like, oh no, like I'm not going fast enough, like I'm in the wrong gear, but I was like already going off the jump. And so I just came up super short, broke both my ankles at the same time, which I've already broken the right one before, which ended up being worse because there were screws in there from a previous surgery, and so it just crushed everything below. There were screws in like my tib fib, and so it just absolutely just shattered my talus bone, which is like your ankle. Basically like the movement, like all the movement in my right ankle. So that's why my right ankle right now like barely moves, like at all.
Bro, oh my God.
And then the left foot, my calcaneus, my heel, I just shattered. So the whole bottom of my foot just broke.
On the left one?
Yeah, so just double boots for 5 months, in a bed, feet up, just in and out of the hospital like every day. I went to a hyperbaric chamber treatments for 2 hours a day for like a month and a half, which that's basically this big tube where they strip you down and you get in a robe and go inside, and they pump high like extra oxygen into this tube to stimulate your white blood cells and your blood flow and everything. It helps basically like quicker healing time. It's usually used for like diabetics or like high profile athletes and stuff for like faster recovery. So that basically saved my right foot because it was just dying. There was no blood going to the bone. My skin was starting to turn black on the top, and they were like just scraping it away every day. And so luckily like those treatments, like luckily I'm like my family's more well off, and we have good insurance, and we have friends that ran that the hyperbaric treatment center and stuff. So it was able to just make everything kind of come together, even though like everything was going bad. Like I was getting infections, and like I said, like the blood wasn't wasn't healing because the blood wasn't flowing. Everything was going terrible, but everything kind of came back around. So like there was like a possibility of like, oh, the right foot's gonna have to go if if there's no blood going to it, kind of thing. Yeah. So he went bad, but it turned around.
How long did it take for that process to reverse? Because your foot was basically going gangrene.
Yeah. So yeah, those treatments were like every single day for like 45 or 50 days, just 2 hours a day in that little tube. Dude,
how old were you when this happened?
23. So I was a little bit older, but back in the folks' home, wheelchair, and just mostly like peeing into like a little thing that they would empty out for me. But if I had to go to the bathroom, they have an older style home, and like the wheelchair didn't even fit into the bathroom, so I had a desk chair that I would like put next to the bed and lift myself like in the wheelchair, roll over to the desk chair, transfer into the desk chair, and then like it had wheels on it, and I'd push myself into the bathroom and then hop on the toilet and go. But I was like, yeah, it's not worth it if I have to go pee. Like, you guys can just empty out a jug for me. Yeah, dude. So that was for like
so crazy.
That was for like 4.5 months before I finally even touched like a foot to the ground. But
dude, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. And then even that, once I even like put my feet on the ground for the first time, it was a process. It was a walker and then crutches, because my left foot healed quicker than the right. The right one just was struggling,
Yeah.
So I started doing crutches on the left, and I think that's also why the left is so much better now, because I did more. I was able to use it more quicker, and then the right one I just kind of babied a little bit longer, and I think it just kind of atrophied and got stuck, and so like now it's just it just doesn't want to move. And if I try to pull or stretch or do anything, it just kills. But I know.
On the right one?
Yeah. And it's like, if you look at the size of my ankles, the right one compared to the left is like twice the size. And like, I don't even know why. Like, I don't know what happened in there, but well, I saw the x-ray and they basically, so this is like the talus bone, and you're supposed to have like a gap kind of like around it of cartilage, and that allows basically your tib fib here to kind of rotate on top of it. But I don't have any more cartilage in it, so it's just basically bone like this. So they were telling me it's not gonna get any more movement because there's just nowhere for it to move, because that gap, that buffer for it to move is gone.
Whoa.
But, you know, I always feel like they tell people that they'll never walk and all this good stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone always just, like, ends up doing it anyway. So I just keep telling myself, like,
yeah,
just keep stepping on it, keep pushing the limits on it, and it'll work itself out. So
they said you're never going to walk again?
they didn't say that. They told me, they're like, don't ride, you know, like, obviously they're like, running, all that stuff's gone. Just like, you know, it is what it is, you know, but it's been,
you're alive.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And it's been, 6 years, right? Yeah. 6 years now, basically, since this happened. And, it's slowly getting a little bit better every year. It's not like a quick process, but it's getting like little bits better. Like all of a sudden, like lately I notice I can kind of run, like, and I'm not sure, cause it's been so long, if I'm like even stepping correctly. Like that's another weird thing, is like just learning if I'm doing stuff right. Like with squats and stuff, like I know, like I can watch other people, but like it's been so long since my hips and my knees and my ankles or anything has like moved in those like positions, that I'm like, I don't even remember how I'm supposed to be stepping, if my knee is supposed to be going over my foot, and like, or all this stuff, just because it's been so long since I've done any of those positions.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. Wow. But you've made it past it, and now you're into fitness, and that's what you do, and you started your fitness journey. So when you also talked about in the interview and stuff, things that I was reading, that you basically got to your lowest point, you know, and that's another thing I wanted to bring up, is like, how did you pull yourself out of that and to really basically get to where you are now?
I guess I've always had like a go-getter mentality, and just so you're talking about basically a little bit after, like a year or a couple years after the accident, I got into fitness like right after the accident, and that was really good. It like helped me. And then at some point I just kind of like dropped out of fitness. I had like moved, and I think I was like going through a rough patch with that relationship at the time, and I just like, and I was over it because my feet sucked and I couldn't do a lot of stuff that I wanted to, and because this was like freshly after, and they were so bad even like a couple years after, and I just hit a low spot, and I got kind of fat and just wasn't doing anything, and I don't know like what it was, but it just hit me. I was like, dude, like, what are you doing? One of those moments, like, you're better than this. Like, you've let yourself I let myself be unhappy, you know, because it's a choice. It's a choice to be happy. It's not, happiness isn't given, it's almost earned, you could say. Like, you have to choose to be happy. You have to choose to go do stuff and take care of yourself, and go to the gym and do hobbies, and like all that stuff takes work. Like I love to go dirt bike, but it takes so much work to load my bike up and make sure that the oil's changed on it, the air filter's clean, the gear's clean. You gotta load it up. You go to the track, you get to ride for a little bit, you load it back up, you go back home, you got to wash it all, you got to clean the air filter again, you got to clean your gear again. Like, it's all, but it's worth it, you know.
Such
like
a process.
Yeah, but it's worth it. Like, I love it, you know, like the feeling you get and the outcome. Like, if I don't go for like a month or two, like, I can like feel my demeanor start, like, I start getting angrier, and just like, because you got to work to be happy. So it was just one of those moments where I was like, dude, you're over it. Like, you're so over everything. Like, stop being over it. Just let's go do it. So I just got back in the gym and started going riding more. That was one of the things too. Like, 'cause I stopped doing that, and stopped doing my hobbies. Like, I like lifting. Like, I like going to the gym, because not only did it help me kind of rebuild my ankles and my strength, because when I went into the hospital for the first day, I was there for like 9 days, and I lost like 15, 17 pounds or something like that.
And you were already pretty skinny.
Yeah.
So to lose that weight.
Exactly. Like I turned into just like this little twig.
Yeah.
And so I just built my body back, and that was nice. And then the mentality that, the mentality that fitness gives you is that push through mentality, you know? And I used to think like it's just like a meathead thing to go to the gym, and
yeah,
you know, because when you're in high school, it's the jocks that work out, and you're like, yeah, you know, screw that. But it's so much more than that. And I don't know if that happens at a young age and that's why they do it, but like when you go and you're tired or you don't want to go and you're lifting this weight and you want to stop, but like there's that little voice that starts to get stronger the more you go, that says, nah, one more rep, like nah, like we're hitting the gym today even though you're tired, like nah, like one more set, here we go, come on. Like that transfers over to your life. So like when you get home after work and you're like, man, you got like your side hustle, you want to work in, like, man, I don't feel like doing it. You got that little voice that you've been building that goes, nah, man, like let's go, let's do it. So yeah, so I think that little voice just like kicked back in because I had built it, because I had gotten into fitness and I was like doing it and doing my thing, and then I just let it go. But like that voice was still there, you know. Yeah. So I just found him again.
Dude, I love how you say that side hustle thing. That's a really, really big. I've said it on the show before, you know, you can't go work for somebody else, doing somebody else's job. I mean, you know, making somebody else money and then not go home and work on yourself, whether that's going to the gym, whether that's working on the podcast, whether that's going to go riding, like, or something that you're starting on your own. That is the most important thing to do. Yeah. And I think like that right there was just like, yes, man. Like you have to do that. It's so important. And that little voice when you're in the gym, I mean, I think I was just talking to my wife about it today. It's like, I love going to the gym. Yeah. It really does make me feel better. And it's like, and then you start seeing the results and you're like, oh yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, so you got to get back into riding, and was there a mental, I mean, as a person who skateboarded, and I knew the mental blocks that you get after getting hurt, especially like breaking ankles and stuff. I've broken both. There was a huge mental block for me. Yeah. How was it for you to get back on your bike knowing this is what caused all of this?
What's crazy is like when I went riding for the first time again, it was like a year to the date. I don't know if it was to the day or like to the weekend. But I went riding like a year after, and I'm definitely less gung-ho to go hit the harder jump, you know, right off the bat like I used to be. But now that it's been a couple years riding again, like I'm pretty much kind of, I don't even think about it really anymore. Like, it's just like, I know my skills, and that was just like a one-off thing, you know, like it happens. Like you can trip on the sidewalk and go down. It was just like I just know to be, I guess, more mentally focused now. Like I don't take it for granted, and I don't go nearly as much. Obviously I try to go at least once a month or every other weekend, something like that. But now that I just got my girlfriend a dirt bike, so now it's going to be like way easier to go just because now she's pumped to go all the time. So we've been taking her, and she's killing it on a little like CRF 150. So it's like a smaller race bike, you know? Okay. But dude, yeah, she loves it. And so we're becoming a nice little dirt bike family.
Oh, shoot. Dude, that's tight. I mean, so when you're going out there, what kind of music are you bumping? Do you do you ride with headphones? Like,
no, not anymore. No. I used to. Now, nope. Now it's just like focus. Okay. Like, yeah. Okay. But it's almost, and I've been hearing it more on. I listen to like, you know, a bunch of podcasts too and stuff, and been hearing it more lately where they've been saying like, if you're into even skateboarding or any kind of sport, like adrenaline sport, like that's honestly like our age's form of meditation, because I go out there. I don't think about anything else. My mind is just like fully focused, and I'm in this like flow state, you know? Yep. And like, I can't get that feeling doing anything else. And it's not even that it's like it's hard. Like, it's physically hard. It's mentally hard. Like, you got to be on your game. There's people around you. There's holes, rocks, all this stuff. You know, you're hitting big jumps. Like, you got to shift gears, hit your brakes, everything. But at the same time, like, it's so effortless, like, and just so flowy, just like when you're cruising a bowl or something, you know, like you got to be pumping it right, hitting the right curves. Like, it's easy to go down, but like at the same time, you're just cruising, you're flowing, and just like, it feels so good, you know?
Dude, I completely can I completely agree with what you said about the meditation, and it's like a flow state. There is nothing better. I mean, I still skate without headphones, but then if I'm skating OB Park, bro, headphones in and just mashing. Like, I don't care, but I don't think about it, but I guess, yeah, as fast as I'm going and as like pumping as I throw it, if I were to go down, it'd probably hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, nice little knee banger,
Dude,
shoulder hit.
I ate it the other day at the skate park. I was pumping. I was like, I turned around, I was going switch, and there's this biker coming, and I went to like avoid it and totally did one of those like, and then just flew, fully horizontal and just landed like scraped up my knee. But then I went to the gym right after. I got home and like I went to stand up. I was like,
done.
I was like, I didn't even know. I was like, did it always hurt this bad? Like, oh shit.
Yeah, now the adrenaline lets you go for a while.
Yeah, I was like, it was so nuts. But so you got back on the bike, you were out there, and then what kind of sparked all the bodybuilding per se? Because you competed and stuff too.
I did, and the first time was like super random, no coaching, no nothing. I just I think I just bought in my house, and I was living by myself, and was just kind of hitting the gym and was getting in really good shape because I was just, not to say it's a bad or anything, but I didn't have a girlfriend and have like many homies coming over or anything. So I was like spending a lot of time just like cooking and hitting the gym and going riding. And so like just by my lifestyle, I got into like crazy good shape because I was getting like really into health and fitness, you know, and I went and got like a training certification and stuff. And
oh, you did?
I did, yeah. And let's see, what year was it? I don't, like 2015, 16, like a couple years after the accident. Oh, wow. Like I was getting into fitness, so I was like, I want to go learn more. So I went and got a certification, and then just after that, I kept like learning and learning more, and so just my lifestyle became really healthy and active, and because I was just being very aware of what I was eating, what I was doing, and just so got into really good shape, and then bodybuilding.com like picked me up on Instagram, just sent me a message, slid into the DM,
Dude, and, what? Are you serious? That's how that happened?
Yeah. So like their website was free at the time. Like everything that they did, all the info and plans and everything was like free. And so I started using it, got some supplements off there. And so I had like their little shaker bottles and their towels and stuff. And so I would just rep it in all my pictures and tag them. And so they just hit me up. They're like, hey, we see you rep all our stuff. We're starting this new like ambassador program, and we'd like you to be a part of it. And I was like, all right, like cool. Yeah. And at first it was just like, here's like one free sup a month kind of thing or whatever. And it was like, just felt cool to be a part of it though, because it was a big company. And I was like, wow, like no way. They noticed me. I had like 1,000 followers, I was like, I'm nobody. I was like, but that's cool. And so then there was like 10 of us, and they did a little contest for us, and they picked 6 of us to like fly out and go to their headquarters.
What?
And I was like, dude, like what is happening? Like
that's fucking sick.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm like, I'm just some little bro that like works construction, and I just started lifting, like and I'm not like big or anything. I was just like more shredded, and but I was like, all right, cool, let's go. And so we went out, and I guess through my Instagram they kind of saw that I had an injury. And they just like kind of put all that together, like, oh, he's got a story, and like, not to say it was used for marketing, but they saw that it had a story. So they had the 6 of us, because I guess each of us had our own little stories.
Okay.
And they had us do these little Spark videos, and that's what you saw. So that whole article,
7-minute one.
Yeah. So that's the Spark video that we went out and we all recorded one of those, and they've been like releasing them for a while, and that was just made me get so much even more into fitness, because like just like you feel recognized and you feel a part of it, and we're at like the mecca of the fitness industry, and like their gym there, we got to work out in it, and just felt so cool. And so we were like a part of this thing, and I was like, so I got back and I was in good shape, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a show. And so a couple months after that, I just like a show that was like the first one of the season, which is like a really popular one, and it's becoming like really popular down here in SoCal to do these like physique bodybuilding shows and stuff. And so there's a lot of people at them down here, like, and
Fool's just shredded.
Yeah, dude. And like they coach for 6 months leading into it. They've been dieting, and I'm like, I haven't even been dieting. Like I'm just like living my life, and like I just happen to be in good shape. But so I buckled down. I researched like every day. I'm watching like YouTube videos of other guys and like of their like posing routines, because like like you can be in good shape, but like you have to be able to present yourself. And I I've never been one to just like flex or anything. That's that meathead mentality that I was
Yeah.
not about. And I was like, whatever. So I started just watching videos, and I'm like, shoot, dude, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're just
I'm getting
doing
like,
this solo.
yeah, dude. I'm like, I'm got like 2 weeks out from this thing, and there's like, people get on teams and stuff, so they're working out with teammates, and they got the slew of coaches and nutritionists and everything, doing the diet and their workouts, and so I was like, I should probably like try to get a little more help. So I got this one-time coach thing for like posing. So I went up to like to Temecula, and this guy watched me, walk around and flex, and told me how to do it, whatever, and what I should be doing. I was like, okay. And I was like, it was like a week or two out from the show, and so I practiced for like that week or two, and went into the show, and I did pretty good. I got like I did 2 classes, and I got like a 3rd and a 5th, and like one was like open and one was novice. And I was like, okay, like not too bad, And
Sick.
yeah, and I was like, that was fun. Like it happened really quick, and my family came to the show and stuff, so that was like cool. And like it was a good time. And I was like, well, that wasn't that hard. Everyone always complains and bitches about this thing. Like I was like, that's not that hard. Like just eat good, work out. Like you come,
Easy.
yeah. That sounds totally like egotistical, but anyway.
I mean, no. I mean,
at
it
the
makes
time,
sense. It's super simple. Just what you're saying.
It
is
was
simple.
well, just for me at that time, like being that I work construction, like I get 6 hours of cardio a day almost by myself, and then I have very active hobbies with the dirt biking and just lifting and stuff, and then me and my girlfriend go hiking and we walk our dogs, and so like I was just very active, so naturally I just got in really good shape, like and so I always take it for granted, because if you're sitting in an office 8 hours a day, yeah, no way, that's so hard, because I can't. If I sat in an office and I actually had to do cardio, that's the thing, like I barely even do cardio. Like people have to go on a treadmill for like an hour. I'm like, no way. Like I'm never doing that, dude.
Dude, no way.
But so I was like, okay, that's not that bad. And then I think like another year went by, and I was doing the spokesmodel search for bodybuilding.com, and I was like, dude, I've been talking
what?
a spokesmodel search.
What is that?
So that's becoming like they'll pick, I think it's like 3 guys or something, or 4 guys and like 3 or 4 girls, and you're basically like the kind of the face of the brand for like the year almost.
Oh,
like,
whoa.
yeah. So they pick spokesmodels to like represent the company, and they were doing it they do it every year, and this was like I don't even know, maybe like 8th one or something, like and so like, it was a big thing every year. They do it. People send in their like little like video resume things, and then it whittles down to like a top 10 or 20 or something, and people vote. And so
whoa, it's like a whole competition.
Yeah,
that's sick.
and so I was like, oh, I got my story, and like I'm already with bodybuilding.com, and like I was talking to a lot of the employees, and I was like, do you guys, I was trying to like kind of whittle my way in. I was like, do you guys like pick, how this goes down, like if I enter, you think I have like a good chance? And like talking to people, and I was talking to one of the athletes too at the time, who's like, he was one of the big names in the company, and they're like, oh yeah, dude, like submit your video, like you're going to make it to the top, whatever. And then, then it's up to voting. But I was like, I think I could do good. And so like, I made this video, made it all like, like the background music, made it all like touchy-feely, and
tugging at the
but
heartstrings.
I meant it, at the time I was like, like I'm meant for this, like I want to help people, and I did, like I was like, I give out free info. Well, I wasn't saying this in the video, but like at the time, like I give out free info. I'd always try to motivate people, and I still do, that's what I use my Instagram platform, is like just to try to be like motivating now, not so much for like fitness stuff, just kind of daily life, and getting on it, but so I was like, this is for me. Like, I want to represent this company, and I want to help people, and I want to just like, I love this shit. Like, that's how I was at that time, just like in it, like fully submersed. And so did that video, didn't even make it to the next, like top 20. And I was like, no, like crush me. So the point is, I actually hired like a coach for the spokesmodel contest, because if you get picked to the top 20, then you have to submit like current photos and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, dude, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to be in like the best shape of my life. So I hired a coach, and actually went on like a real crazy hard, like strict diet for like a lean bulk, which means, putting on muscle with no fat. And within a month, I put on 10 pounds of like lean muscle. Like I fluffed up a tiny bit, but I usually sit around like 150, and I was like 163 lean. And I was like, oh my, like killing it, like I was like, yeah, I got this,
Damn.
Didn't make it. And like my heart was crushed. So then I was like, well, I'm just going to ride this into a show.
All right.
So then there was a show like a month away, you know, like wasn't planning on it. Like I said, you know, other people like plan like usually like 12, 16 weeks out of dieting, but they have a show picked out like months in advance, like so they know. And like each time I did these shows, it was like last minute. I'm like 4 weeks out. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
4 weeks down, I just start cutting down on calories and leaned out, and still didn't really practice my posing enough, but I got like a second and a third this time, doing like the same classes, and it was good. And then I just realized every time the guys that were beating me were just way bigger, you know, muscle wise. And I was just like, I could have maybe like tried to take some like testosterone and stuff. Like I'm not against that. I don't care about that. Like I tried. I'll tell you, I did try. I stuck a needle in my butt, but
What?
I did, dude. Just to, and it's just natural testosterone just to help like speed up the process, dude, because I was years into it and I'd seen these guys are bigger. And I was like, I'll try, dude. Like I was around enough guys that were doing it, and I'd seen like it's perfectly fine. And like if you don't go crazy, like you do like, you know, a cycle, which is like 3 months or something, and like you don't even have to take anything after. Like it's just, you're fine. It just help you build a little bit more muscle. But I'm allergic to it. Like I'm allergic to like the stuff they like. Am I allowed to swear on here? Okay, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like
dude.
I'm allowed. Like I'm allergic to like the shit that they like mix it with. Like, cause I tried 2 different kinds, and like the first kind I broke out in hives, and like the second kind my ass cheeks swelled up. Oh my god, to like just like big booty hoe status, dude. Like my butt cheek was ginormous, and I went to urgent care. I was like, yeah, I'm freaking out. I was like, I stuck myself with this, and she's like, oh, you're just having like an allergic reaction. I'm like, no way. I'm like, this is like a different kind. I'm like, okay, I just can't do it.
Dude.
So then I was kind of,
thank goodness.
well, so I was kind of like, I was like, well, I can't really, like, it's going to take me about 10 years to put on another 20 pounds of muscle to like where these guys are at, you know, even especially if you want to go to like the national stage. Like I'm here at just the local stage. So I was kind of just like, well, it's not for me, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, maybe in 10 years, like when I come back and I have another, you know, 20 pounds of muscle on, because I was like, I'm also not willing to do the kind of dieting I was. The amount of eating I was doing, I was eating like 6 to 7 giant meals a day of just like clean food. Because if you're eating clean and you want to put on muscle, you have to eat like so much food to get calories in. Because junk food, it's easy to get calories. You just eat like a couple cookies and you know, you got thousands of calories, whatever. But if you're eating just meat and vegetables and like rice and potatoes and stuff to get those calories, you're just eating so much food that I was like miserable. Yeah. So I was like, it's just the lifestyle wasn't for me, you know? So I don't know if I don't think I'll ever go back onto the stage, but like it was for, you know, the time, like both times I did it was super fun. And like for me, it wasn't like a bad experience because I never took any kind of drugs to get to this stage. I know a lot of people do. I just dieted, and like I think a lot of people cheat on their meals. They just don't want to say it. They just cheat on their stuff, and like so they take pills and do fat burners and all this crazy other stuff that you don't even want to hear about. But like, yeah, like people just don't do it the healthy way, and so I'm just not really about that, like that whole scene either anymore.
Yeah, that's I mean, my brother-in-law, he's a trainer, and these dudes, none of them take anything, but these guys have all been working out together for, God, dude, 6-7 years. I've seen them go from like smaller shredded dudes to now where they've all been working out together. The gym has taken off. Yeah. And now all of them, my brother-in-law, the dude who owns the gym, he competes in Vegas and he like wins. Yeah. And dude, these fools are just like so jacked. Mm-hmm. I can't believe how jacked all of them are. Like this dude Al, I've seen them all just like boom, dude, get bigger. Yeah. And I'm just like, how are these doing? But you
gotta live the lifestyle.
They've been that way for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. And you see them now all just cleaning shit and
just huge numbers.
Dude, I had one of the homies on Raleigh Robertson. He owns this company called Farmers Market Hawaii. Okay. And he's one of the dudes who's been working out with them. And he went from kind of like being a bigger dude, but just having kind of like a belly, a drinking belly, to now where this fool is just, dude, his abs like come out. Like, I don't even understand, bro. It's all muscle, and these fools are just jacked. I'm like,
dude, if I could afford a meal prep company, like, oh, that's where it's at, because it's the food. That's the hardest part about being not even like like jacked like that, but just being in shape for anybody, for like America, because America's diet is like cheeseburgers and what's fast and easy and cheap. And it's like, if we had these meal preps, like where it's just chicken, broccoli and rice, and I know people don't want to eat that, but like it's not all that either. Like, you know, you can have like buffalo chicken and, you know, this kind of sauce, whatever.
Yeah,
but like,
bro.
as long as you're not eating fucking fast food and pizza and like the diet that we do eat on like the daily and like the portions that we eat, like if we had these like little meals that came in like the small portions, we'd all be in shape. It's the food. Food
dude,
is like
100%.
just so rough, dude.
Well, it's that, and then that sedentary lifestyle.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, 8 hours a day, and
8 hours a day sitting down.
And then you go back home and you sit on the couch, dude. People don't walk anymore,
bro.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I can't. I'm like you. I can't. I tried working in an office.
No, can't do it,
bro. Cannot do it. I go stir crazy. I have to go out and walk like a mile or something. Oh my god. I love doing what I do because of the fact that I have to stand all day.
Yeah,
it's the best part. I don't understand how people could just sit 8 hours a day.
I got my little Fitbit on, you know, and so I was working with my coworker the other day, and I'm like, dude, we're not even done with work, and we're at almost 12,000 steps for the day, you know? And I was like, I said, someone in the office right now, I go, they got up, they maybe walked like a couple hundred steps around their house before they got ready. They got in their car, walked to work, maybe got 100 steps into work. They're going to sit in their seat now for like 8 hours. They might get a couple hundred steps while they go to the bathroom and get a drink and stuff in between. But then they just do the same thing. They go home. They get maybe another few hundred more steps. I'm like, maybe they're getting like 1,000 steps in for like a day. I'm like, no, like that's not okay. But like, that's so many people.
It is. And I mean, and that's no hate to anybody who's listening.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're listening to this at work right now,
it's the lives that we've all created. It's society, you know, like that is the lifestyle, because we wear ourselves so thin, working so much, and like we have families, and then the bills that come at us, like, and everything runs us now, insurance and cell phone companies, and dude, like, so it's just hard. It's hard, man. It's hard to stay alive.
It's super hard, especially out here in Southern California, bro. Yeah. I mean, you go anywhere else in the country, and the price of living, or what do they call it? Cost of living.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is so much lower. I mean, my mother lived in Albuquerque. The house that she bought, dude, she built it from the ground up for $135,000. It's like a 3-bedroom house.
That's so nice.
I mean, she lives in Albuquerque.
And well, the pay, you don't get the same pay either. It's like we get paid more out here, but I mean, it's still it's rough anywhere. But
dude, but I mean, at the same time, we pay for. I mean, you said it yourself earlier in this conversation, like out to the desert, or you live right here in Del Mar. You can go surfing. You can
dude, it's the best.
Yeah,
everyone always complains about stuff here, like traffic and everything. I'm like, well, I moved just outside of kind of where the traffic area is in Escondido, you know, like I'm not, but I'm still only 30 minutes to the coast. And for me with the dirt bikes, I'm 30 minutes to dirt bike tracks. I'm an hour and a half to Big Bear for snowboarding. Like, yeah, do I want to go to Mexico? Like, let's go, you know, like we can go anywhere.
It's like living out there. I was always like, I don't know.
We'll see. Depends how into the scene you are. I'm pretty homebody like during the week, and I just have my fun on the weekend, you know? Okay. So, and like I said, my hobby is dirt biking. So for me, the track's right there. So like my weekend hobby is really close for me, and that makes it super nice. And also just going to the desert and stuff. I'm already, 30 minutes ahead of everyone else down here, just getting out to the desert and stuff. So it works for my lifestyle, because I'm not like a surfer beach guy. Like, I mean, I enjoy the beach and stuff, but like I don't go to the beach every weekend, as much as I go out to the track and stuff. So
exactly
works for me.
Yeah, exactly. I completely understand. So the one thing I actually really want to talk about as well. Let's see.
I feel like we've been all over the place.
Dude, we have, but there's so many things. When I was watching your video, there's so many other things that, I mean, you said it yourself that on your Instagram now you're going more towards like daily motivation, because for like everyday life. You had said this one thing that you said, what was it? Never be complacent, always like bettering yourself, always improving. I really, really like that, because I felt like a common theme on the show and within the guests is that I want to know how you're motivating, how you're hustling out there, how you're working construction, you're doing your hobbies, you've been successful with bodybuilding, getting recognition, these things. So what keeps you personally motivated?
I mean, I feel like it's such a hard answer, because it's almost just like built in, like it's wired in at this point. Because for me, I almost like can't understand just being okay, like with everything. Like, okay, you know what? Like I've made it have comfortable living, comfortable house, everything's comfortable. Like, okay, I'll just stop, like and like and maybe it comes off almost too much sometimes for like, for my girlfriend Brittany and stuff, with me always kind of pushing, like, and cause it's almost like, why aren't you happy? And it's like, it's not that I'm not happy with what I have. But I like little mini successes, I guess, almost just feel good too. Like, it's, they just kind of, it helps keep you motivated. Like, I have friends who have, gardeners and maids and things like that. But for me, it's like, and also for Brittany, like we get so much little pleasures out of, like, it's a pain in the butt, like to go mow the lawn and pull the weeds and clean the house and vacuum and stuff. I go, but people don't realize when they stop doing that stuff. And even if you don't have a maid, you just don't do it. You're missing out on that little win, that little success. Like when you turn around and it's clean and it's trimmed and it looks good, you feel so good inside, like even if it's something stupid, just like cleaning up your living room, it feels good. And so boom, right there, like now I want to go do something else that goes and feels good, and part of it is filled just my hobbies are also expensive, so it's like like, so part of it's just like, like I want to be able, like, I know that my hobbies and lifestyle is somewhat like more expensive. So it's like, but I need it, like, so I'll do what it takes to keep it going. So like, I just try to do basically as much as I can. Like I'm toying with the idea of just like putting like a little fitness ebook together and just like having like a little cheap one, just like so people can buy to get a starter or intermediate or whatever. And like, cause I know a lot of the stuff out there, like it's like everyone's like, oh, I'm getting a coach for this and that. And it's like hundreds of dollars, for like a month. And, and it's like, that's cool. But it's like, I know a lot of the stuff that people need is just to know what to do. And I know you can look up Google and stuff, but it's hard to find a direction there's so much info out there. So I just want to put like a little like $20, like little like, fitness ebook with workout plans and nutritional help and guidance, maybe something like that. Like I flirt with that idea. I want to eventually kind of get like a garage, like with a buddy. And I've been buying and selling like Harleys and stuff lately. And
dude, yeah, I wanted to ask you about that garage
dude,
as well.
I love my garage. It's my baby.
Is that kind of like the garage you were talking about? Like just selling the Harleys? I mean, are you selling all those bikes that you have?
No. So I got a dirt bike. I have a Harley, and then Brittany's got a dirt bike, and I just bought her first Harley. So our garage is packed with our bikes. But I've always loved bikes, and I've been like, I was in the industry, I went to MMI, came back, and I was wrenching on them, and I did some suspension work up in like Nuevo, like Paris area, for dirt bikes and stuff. But I just ended up following like some money instead of, and kind of got out of it. And I'm into my family business now, which is thermal solar installation, which is, I love it, dude.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I'm just outside every day. And
sick.
Like I said, manual labor, so free cardio. But anyway, but like I'm always like, I need to be a part of like motorcycles, because like I believe in the whole like follow your passion thing. Because if you go to work for someone like we were talking about, and like you just don't do anything else for yourself on the side, like you die a little bit inside, because you're not following your dreams and what you love, like what excites you. So like for me, before, after the accident, and even if I have more accidents, like dirt bikes, like Harleys, like street bikes now, which is I've found as a new passion, just bikes, like motorcycles. Like I love motorcycles, so I'm like, I need to be a part of this industry, but I just like didn't know how. And so I'm like, I'll invent something, I'll do something, like what can I do? And then my buddy, he's always been into it. I reconnected with him. He's a high school friend. And he's like, his whole family's like Harley life and everything. And so he knows everything about Harleys, and he kind of buys and sells a little bit. And so I just bought and sold a bike, and I just bought like another bike at a good deal. Like I could probably sell it right now and get like make some money and stuff. So I'm just like, maybe this is it. And I was like, maybe we just start buying and selling and start building some bikes, and like, and get like a little garage, and like, not even for like anything crazy, but like, a little bit of profit on the side. But like, also I was telling Brittany, I was like, just because I was like, I just love bikes. Like it'd be cool just to ride different bikes, have different bikes, see different bikes, learn about different bikes. Like just like it just something that will fuel me, on the side, like fuel my passion, be my weekend projects and stuff. And just after work, little hang out and do whatever. Like, but like, that's how you have to live life. 'Cause you can't just like, and like I said, like I love solar, but it doesn't fill my, my heart and my soul kind of thing,
pays the bills.
Yeah, it pays the bills, and like in a good way. And I like to do it. I like the work. But you gotta you got to fill the other half of you, somehow. So like I said, it takes work, to try and make that happen. But like, if I can make that happen, then it's not work, once you get to a certain point, all these people who go after their dreams, like they'll tell you it's work, but at the same time it's not work because they love what they're doing, know?
Dude, I mean, well, do you ever feel that when you're actually doing something that you love, like what you're talking about when you are wrenching on a bike, you're doing these things, you love wrenching on bikes.
Yeah, dude, so fun.
Do you feel that the way you get when you're riding that bike, you get in like meditative flow state? Do you find that maybe sometimes when you're like in the groove and you're putting it back together and you're just like, oh, this is sick,
Besides when I'm like frustrated because it's not going how I want it to.
Okay, so it gets more frustrated.
But still, it's that. But I'll finish it. I'll put it together. But like especially the Harley. Like I went to school and learned how to work on dirt bikes, and it's all Japanese stuff, and Harley's all like American standard and stuff. So like, I had to get like all different types of tools, and everything's built like a little bit differently, and the motors work slightly differently with like push rods and different things like that. And so it's like learning to work on different stuff. But it's that same, so it can be a little frustrating, but it's that same feeling afterwards when I finish and like it's back together and it's working, and I'm like that gratitude, like that gratification. Like some people would take their bike to the shop, and I'm just like, nah, like even if I struggle or do it wrong and have to do it again, like afterwards when I finish, like boom, victory. Like it feels good. I feel so good about it. Like it's worth it. It's worth the struggle. Plus I'll save some money, so it's always a plus too.
And plus you'll just know that for like if it happens next time.
Yeah, exactly. So like even like I went to MMI, people are like, oh, you wasted it. You don't work in a shop. I'm like, I've saved like so much money, and all the like fun and hours I've put in working on my bikes, like my personal dirt bikes, like totally worth it. Like I had a 250 that when I was working in the shop, I'd take in on my days off, and I'd take the motor in and I bored it out and put bigger piston and stuff in it, and made a bigger dirt bike, made it a 270, and like that was so much fun, and like maybe I didn't make any money or whatever, but like it's worth it because like like I knew what to do and I could do it, and like it was such a fun project and like filled me, and so like totally worth it. Like I love working on stuff. So
dude, when you were coming up riding bikes, did you have sponsors? I mean, who were you sponsored by?
So this is a lot of old companies. Some companies are still out there, but like it was like I don't know how to explain it. Did you ever, like for skateboarding, did you ever get like Sponsor House or something like that?
Sponsor House?
No, it's like a website. Okay, so like back in the day, like almost like right when MySpace, or like almost pre-MySpace even, like when I first got internet in our house, like it was this thing, like, and it was a little like sponsor thing for like action. I think it might have been just for moto at the time.
Okay.
You like put your resume up there, and then like companies would reach out to you, and you would get it wasn't like
sponsor
paid.
Me tapes and stuff like that.
Yeah, basically, and you put like your race results and stuff at the time, and so like I was driving myself, and I like was racing these series, and I would always get like top 3, like always, and so I started putting it up there, and so companies would reach out and be like, hey, like we want to give you like, it was never, like I said, not paid or anything, but they'd give you like 60% off of their stuff, or they'd give you like a welcome package of free gear, or like
boots,
chest
pieces.
Yep, just hook you up. So like I had probably like 10 sponsors or so, and so like I had all the stuff, and I was trying to race, and so I ended up like I had good grades in high school, but I was more on that like even if I don't make, at the time it's funny, I was like, even if I don't make enough money, I'm gonna follow my dream, I was like, I'm gonna go work on dirt bikes, and I'm gonna try and race, and I'm gonna be able to work on my own stuff, and I'm gonna just do this, and so I went out there and ended up like getting some good friends that were like pro amateur racers already, like had pro cards and stuff, and so I started riding with them, and I was getting better riding with them, and came back and started wrenching in shops, and so then the shops like would sponsor me to go do some racing and stuff, and so then I started racing and riding like more and stuff, and would ride 2-3 times a week, and then boom, like the injury hit, and it was just like boom, life stopped, like kind of thing.
Dude, that's crazy. Man, I just can't even understand. Like, I can't even begin to understand how dudes like yourself would do those. I mean, you say you're not just racing, like you're fucking hitting gnarly ass jumps in the middle of it, doing these. I don't know a lot about motocross, but I know like X up or something, or like just like
little whips and stuff.
Yeah, the little whips.
Yeah,
like,
dude, all about whips.
You sent me a photo of you whipping in the air.
Dude, it's everyone wants to whip. Like if you can whip, who cares if you can go fast? If you can whip, that's all that matters.
So, but it's just bringing the back end of the bike over? What are you doing? Are you
Yeah,
going sideways?
dude, it's so hard. Like, it's even hard to like explain. It's funny because now Brittany just rode her dirt bike for like the first time. She's like, I have so much more appreciation for like what you're doing, because she's like, I can't even like get off the ground. She's like, how are you jumping? And then she's like, but like, yeah, whip, man, you come up to the lip and you kind of just start leaning off the side of the bike and you just pull and like turn the bars and like kind of push, I guess, with your feet almost, the back end out. And then as you come to where you think you need to start pulling it back, depending on just like the size of the jump or how hard you whipped it or whatever, like when you need to start pulling it back, you basically just give it gas, because in the air you can control the bike a little bit with your gas and brake. If you gas it, it'll bring the nose up and also will straighten the bike out. And if you hit the brake, it dips the nose because the back tire grabs and spins the air.
What?
Yeah.
Dude,
so like,
I never knew
yeah,
that.
dude. So there's a lot going on. So like as you whip it, that's why you always hear like if you like Monster Energy Cup. This race just went off in Vegas yesterday, and they have a contest before, which is the Dirt Shark biggest whip contest. Like it's all it is a whip contest. Like that's how sick it is to whip. So, but you hear these guys, and you just hear the rev limiters go, and they just bring it back, because they just pin it and they just hope it comes back straight. Like that's all you do is you just throw it out there as far as you're comfortable. Basically, it's just like being comfortable.
Do you mean
and
pin
having
it?
skills.
Does that mean pulling
just
the
pulling the gas?
Okay,
like you just twist the throttle all the way open and just accelerate hard as you can and hope the bike like straightens back out, kind of thing. So it's like it's a comfortability thing, and just like it's like the bigger the jump, the bigger you can whip, but the scarier it is, because it's like when I try to I can whip it on like my favorite size jumps to whip are probably like 50, 60 feet, but like if it goes like to like 80 feet, like I almost like don't know what to do with the air time. Like it's too much, like because I'm not used to throwing it that big. So like because it's a bigger jump, so you need to throw a bigger whip and let it hang longer and then pull it back.
Okay.
But like for me, it's like it's such a weird feeling. Like every now and then I can throw like little ones, but if I try to throw like a bigger one, I start pulling it back too early, and then I start overcorrecting, as I'm coming down. And so it's like it's just like I said, being comfortable and just knowing the bike, knowing the size of the jump and your whips and everything. But yeah, there's a lot going on.
So can you, I mean, this might sound like a really stupid question.
Nah, you're fine.
But would you just, like an 80-foot one, would you just jump it straight?
Yeah, and like I said, like I'll throw like a little tiny just like a little one. Yeah, because what you don't realize, like when you're whipping, and it's what you're really trying to do. Like you can whip just for fun, but what you'll see like racers do is they're scrubbing speed. It's so what you're doing is you're coming at a jump with more speed than you need to hit the jump, and then you're flattening the bike out and basically slicing your momentum off the top of the jump to stay lower, so you can hit a smaller jump with more speed. Okay. So that's what you'll see when you watch racers and stuff go. They're just going really fast and then just boom, like whipping it off the lip scrub, and versus like, you can just jump really high and just whip for fun too. But yeah.
Dude, that shit's always, as a skateboarder, I mean, you skated too, but I mean, I always gave it up. Like, to me, the Moto X and the BMX dudes are the gnarliest extreme sports, because the fact is you can't really bail the bike, and if you bail the bike, you're either going to get smoked or you're going to crash on that thing and you're going to get smoked.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there's no...
People are always like, because I bailed on, I jumped off the bike on this particular one. Like, I've crashed plenty, you know, and then people are like, you should have stayed on the bike. You should have stayed on the bike. And it's like, I've stayed on the bike too, but I also know I was coming up so short that it wasn't like I was going to bounce over the landing. Like you can like case it and kind of bounce up on top and bounce over. But I was coming so short that I was just going to go right into the back, like the face of like the landing.
Was it a quarter pipe or was it a straight pyramid?
So they're 3 peaked out like triangles basically. And you jump from the first one to the third one. But if you come up short on that third one, you're just landing into the face of like a triangle. Does that kind of make sense?
So is it like a volcano almost? Like, you know what, at like an
so
OB Park, they have
like
the volcano?
It's like a round. Like it's like a, like it's just like a single, but so they're kind of built like this. Like there's 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And so I came up and I'm going to land into the face of something like this. And so in this particular time I was coming up so short, I tried to actually push off the back of the bike to kind of send myself a lot shorter distance and like try to have less impact.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. But like if you stay on the bike, like in that kind of type of scenario, what could have happened was people were like, oh, the suspension will take the landing, that'll help you. But since I was going to land on like the face of it so hard, the suspension was going to bottom out. I'd probably hit my face or chin on the bars.
Yeah.
My wrists would both be on the bars and like be potential for like breakage. The first time I broke my ankle, I stayed on the bike and I just bounced hard like that, and it broke my ankle. And I even landed and like rolled away and everything, but it broke my ankle being on the bike. So I still could have potentially broke both ankles. Then your back, like your butt hits the seat and compresses. So then you like risk or like, compressing your spine or doing whatever, a back injury. And so I was like, in this scenario, like staying on the bike could have done even more damage, So
you got off easy.
I walked away with just 2 broken ankles and nothing. Luckily, nothing else, but could have been a slew more of stuff. But
bro, that is just by far the gnarliest thing. I mean, if you're going at what's the speed that you're hitting that jump with?
Probably like somewhere around like at least 30 miles an hour.
30 miles an hour.
Like at least.
And then what do you think?
You probably hit like a peak of like 10, 15 feet going up. And then I probably traveled, like 65 feet because I came up short.
So you're going distance and height.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just flying.
Oh yeah,
through the
dude.
air.
I have a video
of it.
Yeah, I'm just like rolling down the windows. Should I bring it up for you real quick?
Dude, you have it with you right now?
Yeah, let me see if I can just get it real quick. If I can't, then I'll put this away. But
dude, that
it should be up here.
So gnarly. I mean, do you still feel comfortable jumping off like cliff jumps or anything like that into the ocean?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
chilling.
Okay,
chilling.
cool.
Dude, actually swimming like wrecks my feet. Like if I put like fins on, because like it forces your kind of foot to like, I can't wear fins anymore. Like it's too much. Yeah. Like, and then my feet like cramp up because they're not like meant to move like that anymore.
Dude, so gnarly.
I don't think I have it on here.
It's cool.
It's on like the other.
We can look up it later.
Yeah, I'll show you later.
Dude, that is so gnarly. I mean, yeah, I've always loved watching it on the X Games, and it always intrigued me. It's like, dude, these fools. You said this one thing too in your interview. It's like you see people backflipping in wheelchairs and stuff.
Yeah, Johnny Wheels.
Dude, I felt like I could completely relate because when I broke my back, I was telling you I broke my back. Same thing for me, dude.
How long were you out for? Oh, 4 months.
Well, no, it took 2 years to get everything like taken care of. First, it was my hip because I did it in one fall, like dislocated the hip, broke the back, end up going, and they're like, yeah, broke the L5 vertebrae, cracked it. But it was once they found it out, from that point on, it was 4 months of just, I could walk, but I couldn't twist, I couldn't lift.
You could like barely walk.
Yeah, it was just walking. That was it. That's all I could do. And then it would come home and I would sit with like 2 pillows behind my back and then 2 pillows to elevate my feet. And I just watched like Sons of Anarchy and like binge watched all these shows. And it was like back at my grandma's house in Fremont.
Dude,
like
just so much chilling.
Dude, it fucking sucked.
It's horrible.
But I completely related to it because like I got to a point where I saw other people's situations and people making it do. Yeah, I might have pain for the rest of my life, especially if I don't stretch. But that was another thing I wanted to talk about was you say you have pain now. What is it that's in there what's
that
the
hurts?
pain that you're feeling?
Oh, like I don't even know what it is, but it's just like there's like basically a constant subtle pain that almost like it's just I don't even like really notice kind of unless I focus on it because it's just always there. But dude, I get just all the time sharp pains, shooting pains, just like if I step like somewhat not perfect kind of thing, like it might like just twinge and hurt and just like I have to stop, pause, like bend over, like wince in pain. And that happens like daily, like at least a couple times just because like I said, if I don't step like or walk perfect, like and do something weird and like I'm not ready for it, like when you can walk down steps or walk up steps and you think there's an extra step, or you think you're done and you kick the next one kind of thing. Like if I do anything weird like that, like oh dude, like I almost want to cry. Like the pain like I'm on the edge of just like severe pain if I just do anything. But what's weird is like here's what's weird. I can't really jump off anything like higher than like 3 feet, but now that I'm saying it out loud, I think it's more because I can't bend down. Like I said, like my knee.
You can't squat.
Yeah, I can't squat, so I can't land. Like because I'll just fall down, basically to the side or on my butt. Like because I can't squat down and just land properly. But like on a dirt bike and stuff, I almost like stand on my heels, and so my foot like kind of dips forward, and so I'm able to like take these like bigger impacts and stuff. Yeah.
What's the percentage of usage that you get out of both legs?
The left one is getting pretty good. Like the left one, I want to say is like probably like 80 or 90. Like I feel like I'm getting like almost there with it. Like this one, the knee is starting to go like almost over my toes. But the right one still is just like nothing, like 30%, like just so bad.
So it's just kind of there. You can just move it. You could feel everything. Like you have full movement of it. But
yeah, like that's down, up, left, right. Like that's it, dude. There's no up. You see that? Like that's up.
Oh, so you don't have any bend in your dorsiflex. You don't have a dorsiflex.
Yeah, so like I can't. That's why like my leg, like I can't squat down or anything because like my leg, can't go forward at all, like at all.
Dude. So do you do like that leg workout that you did that I did yesterday when I wanted to do your leg workout because you were like
you'll have to remind me what it was.
It was like it's like a seated leg curl. Like fucking
leg extensions,
leg
probably
extensions,
in there.
Yeah. And then there was you did the squat machine, but it
was it like a hack squat or something?
Yeah, hack squat.
So that one, like I can put my feet like out on the platform, and then it almost like sits me backwards, to where my knees aren't going forward, my butt's just going back, and since it's kind of supported. Yeah. I'm almost kind of hanging on it a little bit and using it as as a support, and so I'm able to do like kind of a squat with that machine.
Okay, so okay.
So, but I have to like put my feet like all the way out, and then as it goes down, my butt's more just going behind my legs instead of my knees. Like instead of my butt just going in between them, it's going like more behind it, so my knees don't have to go forward really at all. Okay. And I'm sure I'm still doing it a little weird compared to how it's supposed to be.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, dude, that's so crazy. That what's funny is been going to physical therapy with my injury, and my physical therapist is like, dude, your dorsiflex in your right leg is horrible.
Yeah, it looks like you're getting pretty good over there. Oh, no. It looked all right.
Yeah, no, it's definitely getting a lot better, but it's because she's been like moving my ankle. It would be, dude, she's like bending it in certain ways, and all of a sudden I get up and it goes and like pops.
In a good way?
In a good way. Yeah. Like no, not a bad way at all. No. And it'll be like, she's like, oh damn. She's like, yeah, how's it feeling? I'm like, dude, it's great. But she's like fully helping me, and I think from all the years of skateboarding. Yeah. I mean, I still skate, but she was like, how do you skate? And then she was like, are you leaning back on your heel or? And I was like, oh damn, I thought it was like steezy, like the way I was doing it.
Yeah, like, flat-footed, but you're all up on your toe.
No, I'm all up on the ball of my foot when I'm like pumping. I'm like, you can't see this, guys, but I'm like, I push down with all up on like my 5 toes, and then it's the ball of my foot, and I'm like, I use that to like whip my back so I can get speed. But she was like, yeah, there you go. Like I was like, oh fuck, I didn't even think about that.
I know people would like after the accident, they're like, because my feet look retarded now, and they're like, how was it before? I'm like, honestly, like, how much do you know your feet? Like, like I was like, you don't even really pay attention until all of a sudden something happens, and you're like, oh wait, could I do that before? Like, how good was my flexion and dorsey, all that stuff, whatever. Like, I'm like, how good was it? Maybe I didn't ever have that good to begin with, But yeah, so I try to push it like all the time because like I work on roofs, so I'm working on angled pitches and stuff. And so that actually like puts a lot of strain on it, but I'm like, it's got to be good. It's got to be good because it's just forcing it to bend in weird, and sometimes it hurts. Like I have to walk certain ways, or like sometimes it gets sore, and so I have to like walk up the roof like kind of backwards.
Well, you're bending one leg and keeping one leg straight or something most of the time.
A lot of the times I do bend down, like so. Like I try to switch off the way I like bend down. Basically, I do like a little lunge, like I'll kind of kick a leg back and put it down on my knee. And I'll try to switch it up, but like my toes on my left side are so stiff and like rigor mortis, just like stuck, that they don't like. I can't even really like put it down on my toes because they just don't want to bend. So I just find myself always kneeling the same way
on your left.
On the left foot. Yeah, like the toes like just don't want to bend on that foot. And I have one of them that actually like the tip of it like healed, like curled down, so like when I walk, I'm like walking on my toenail, and that like, dude, that gives me all kinds of pain. Like I have to constantly cut that toenail down to like nothing, and it's like always purple because it's like red and bruised basically because of the way like I need it. I feel like I need it like re-broke. Yeah. But like because the tendon is pulling so tight on the bottom now that like I try to like stretch it, but even stretching it hurts, and then the other toes just don't want to bend. Like the big toe doesn't want to bend at all. It's just like straight. The other toes, like I can bend the toes down, but they don't really want to bend up like I would need it to do for like a lunge or something like that.
So gnarly.
So I find myself bending down the same way every day, and I know that's probably just throwing my hips off and my everything off, just doing everything one way. And like I mentally know that. And so like now like mobility has become like a huge part of my life, because like it's everything I feel like is thrown off. My shoulders are thrown off, my hips are thrown off, because I have to do stuff like, and like my right foot, I like have to force myself to put pressure on it, because the healing process, I learned to just stand when I'm resting, like just standing. I stand all my weight on my left foot all the time. And like I constantly find myself with like my right foot just kind of lifted up, maybe even on its toes, or even if it's flat, it's almost hovering because there's no weight on it. And I'm always putting my weight on my left foot. So I have to like mentally force myself to put weight on my right foot when I'm just like standing and stuff.
Whoa.
Because after like months and like a year, like, because the right foot, like I said, was so much worse than the left, that I was standing on the left a lot earlier than the right. Yeah. So I just developed the habit of putting all my weight on my left foot.
Dude, and that's definitely going to throw your hips off.
Throwing everything off.
So that being said, I mean, I feel like the obvious question would be, it's like, are you doing yoga? Are you stretching?
I want to, like that basically. So we built a garage gym.
Yes, yeah, dude,
it's so sick, dude. It's so sick. Yes. Got a little pull out like squat rack that you can like fold up into the wall and stuff. But I find myself just doing more like stretching and rolling out and working with like a PVC pipe and doing like over the head stuff and like just trying to recenter everything, almost, you could say, and just like try to get everything back. Cause like I was just messing around with some like poses the other day, and I was like, man, I can't even really like turn my body to the right and like move my shoulder in this way. I'm like, cause it's gotten so tight because the way I work, I'm just like I mentally like switch my arms up. If I hand stuff up a ladder, like I'll switch with my left, right, or if I hold stuff, I'll switch left, right. But some stuff I just know because of my feet and everything, I do one way every time. And I forgot where I was going with this, but like, yeah, like, so now I just find myself basically trying to even everything out in the gym.
If you're gonna do yoga.
Yoga. Yeah. So I don't do yoga, but like I just kind of do my own little mobility and stretching and stuff. And like I think about it probably like every other week or so. I'm like, I should try to do.
You should just like, go to like one class.
I did not. So I did go to one, maybe two classes when I was part of a gym, LA Fitness. Okay. Yeah. And it was hard. Like it was so hard. Like I couldn't do a lot of positions because of the way they just like bend. And they have to keep your feet on the floor a lot and like bend into these things. And so I found myself kind of having to do a lot of these little things and stuff. Okay, so it would be good for me, I think, to like find positions that I can almost do, or something where I can like work towards, to where I can, but like a full on yoga class was just like, I could like barely do half of the stuff that they were doing. And like, I mean, it was rough, dude. Cause I'm tight. I'm so tight, dude. Yeah. Like it ruins my life. Like my shoulders, my neck, like I have this little like thing called a back buddy or back joy thingy, and it's like this like S with all these balls on it, and you hook it over you hold it over your shoulder or around your side, and like just get into the knots. And I'm always laying on like a roller or like a tennis ball trying to roll out knots and stuff. And I know I need to get one. Everyone says lacrosse ball, dude. It's much better than tennis ball,
dude. With my hip, bro, on the iliac crest, that's where where it popped out.
Yeah.
I have 2 lacrosse balls. You put that there, bro, and you just breathe into it. I swear to God, you feel your hips just unleash.
Okay. And I need to stop by like Big 5 on the way home.
Dude, just Amazon. That too. Amazon it, or just Big 5, or you can also put it.
You can put it anywhere.
Like the hip flexor right here.
Anywhere you're trying to open up.
Oh my God, bro! It opens up so ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It's the best thing ever. I mean, I've been having to do that for. See, my injury was. I want to say it was like 2014, like almost around the time that yours was, because I was it was 2014 because I moved back to the Bay Area in 2015. So it definitely took around that time, but it's same thing, foam roller. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of yoga for my hip, and that's been really good. But with the back, it's been interesting. Working out the back has been.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
Like, whew.
So you have to just like tiptoe around it.
I tiptoe, but also.
Push it.
You have to make it stronger,
mm-hmm.
right?
That's such a fine line to walk.
The surrounding muscles, you have to make sure they're stronger.
So that's what I was gonna say with my ankle. Like I do push it, but then it sores like a motherfucker. Like especially like so. Even if I don't push it, when I wake up in the morning and like at the end of the day, like if I get up off the couch, like it basically turns out sideways because like it doesn't want to do any kind of pressure on the forward. Like it gets stiff. and it hurts. So like in the morning it gets stiff because I'm just sleeping and I haven't been using it, so it gets super stiff. And at the end of the day, since I've been on it all day, it gets just basically sore. So when I stand up, I'll basically have to kick it completely sideways and walk on it like that, and then like slowly I can start turning it back more straight as it kind of loosens up. But that's a daily thing. But so
Is
if
that just your right foot?
just the right foot,
Just the right
because
foot.
like it's that forward, like I said, like right now, like it's like bone on bone, I guess, you know, like I don't have any cartilage. So like I almost have to like ease into it kind of thing, or take it easy after a long day. But so if I do push it, it just makes it more sore. And I know some soreness should be allowed with recovery. Like I know that. So like I've broken more other bones and stuff, you know? So I know what recovery means with like pushing it. But yeah, it's that fine line of like, I don't want to overdo it and then I can't work, or I can't I can't continue to progress it. But so I try to push it, and like sometimes it's more sore than other, but always trying to push it at least a little bit and like force it. Just kind of basically dust the cobwebs off, you know, and break it up in there.
Do you still work out like every day, or is it 4 to 5
No,
days a
so
week?
it's like 3 to 4 days a week now, and I've kind of noticed, I think I was doing too much before. Like those workouts that are on bodybuilding.com, like you can do that if you're like an advanced like lifter and you're trying to build like little parts of your body, whatever. But like if you just want overall strength and like an overall physique, like actually, honestly, I kind of take that back. Like that workout plan's kind of like dated from like knowledge that I've gained now. Like it's better to almost do more full body routines, because
Dude, yeah.
So like the muscle building signal basically dies after 72 hours. So like this whole like Monday chest, Tuesday back, Wednesday arms, like by the time you're already like after Wednesday, you should be hitting chest again, because you're no longer building or recovering. Like, and if you're getting so sore that it like is killing you, you know, and it hurts, you already went too far. Like that's another thing. Like this whole like, I want to feel super sore every day. You shouldn't. You went too far. Like you could build more muscle by doing less. And so I noticed building the garage gym, I started working out a little bit less and stuff, which is funny because it's closer, but funny how that works, huh? But no, I just also gained some like new knowledge, and I noticed that, you know, I could do more like 3 full body days a week where I'm hitting chest 3 times a week, back 3 times a week, like my arms, my shoulders kind of, and like just doing like a couple sets each, not this like balls to the wall, like 5 sets of fucking thing, like every single day. Like if you're going to hit chest and back and you're doing like 7 exercises of each and 5 sets of each exercise, like no, dude, like take it back, dude. Skirt. Yeah. Like, so I realized like I could just do way less and get the same results. So I still am very active. Obviously, my jaw is still dirt bike and all that stuff, but I'm not in the gym for 2 hours, 6-7 days a week now. Now I'll go work out in the garage like hour and a half, like 3-4 times a week, and just do more functional. Like I'll just stick more to the basic stuff too. Like it works, like deadlifts, squats, bench press, getting into some just kind of like kettlebell swings, because that kind of uses your whole body to like, you know, your legs, your core and everything, stuff like that. And like just, yeah, more barbell work. Like not like I'm not into CrossFit and all that stuff, but like almost more like just CrossFit type exercises, because they're full body incorporated. Like
HIIT exercises.
Yeah. And well, I'm not like, when I say like, I'm not about CrossFit, because like I'm not trying to do like for time, you know, or any like I'm not competing. I'm just doing their lifts slow and controlled and with good form, and their full body movements. And so it just, the big movements build the most muscle, and building muscle will keep you lean, because the more muscle you have and you're building, the more naturally you'll just burn fat, because the more muscle on your body burns more fat. Just to keep the muscle around, you have to intake a little more calories, so it helps you keep you leaner building muscle. Like these cardio bunnies, you're running in a circle, because your body's just going to adapt to what it's already at. Because if you can run the 20 minutes, it doesn't need to like burn any more fat or build any more muscle, and you just, you know, you can run your marathon. And so you need to build a little bit of muscle, and do some lifting to you know, have a nice, like a healthy body, you know.
Yeah. Do you know, it's this time around I was telling you I'm about to be running a marathon in December. It's this time around, I've been working out 3 to 4. Actually, I've been working out more than I've been running because of my injury. But dude, I've been in the gym, dude, sometimes 5 days.
Yeah,
like
dude.
An hour and a half.
Feels so good,
dude. I love it. 5-6 days, but full body. I've been doing more full body. That was honestly one of the only times in maybe the last couple of years that I actually did like a full only
one
leg
muscle.
day.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is it's good to do that, throw that stuff in every now and then. Yeah.
It was definitely interesting.
Shock the body. But
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, I'm doing all legs right now.
Yeah, so much legs.
But then, with this working out and then running as far, it's actually way easier to run farther. I'm not as tired, like faster. It's,
Yeah. You have more storage and stuff, in your body.
Nice.
It's just, you have more muscle to push further off each step, Not like you're going to get bodybuilder size and be able to run good, but having some muscle does help versus just cardio.
Are you going to do more certs?
Probably not. I'm just all the certs are you pay just to have that title. Yeah. I didn't really learn much more than I've learned more just YouTubing and Googling and just reading articles and stuff.
Dude, just self-taught.
Yeah, dude. I don't need the title. Which the title gets people to look at you and maybe buy your ebook or something.
Yeah. Or if you're a personal trainer.
But no, I'm always trying to gain more knowledge. I'm always listening to podcasts while I work and stuff, and some of them are health and fitness related, more related, so I still am getting that the knowledge of what's good for us and what's bad, because that honestly always changes. They used to demonize fat, and then it went to carbs, and now protein is in everything. Everything's protein, this and that. Some of these podcasts are predicting that they're going to start saying, oh, protein's bad, protein's cancerous, too much protein, all this stuff's bad for you. And so it's honestly, the news is always changing on what's good and bad for our bodies. So I'm just always trying to stay up to date. And it's more just personally, so I can be healthy and live a nice long life. And
it's balance.
The ultimate goal for me is always so I can do my hobbies. I want to be fit so I can my dad still goes to the dirt bike track with me, and he's 62 and he just rips out there.
Sick.
Dude, he just learning to hit new jumps and everything. I'm I know my ankle's already bad and stuff like that, and I know I partied harder than he did. So I'm now I want to be able I want to live long, and I always say 40 is the new 20 now. So I just want to be able to live that up, and when I'm 40 and 60 still be doing what I like to do, and not just, I hate being those people that are oh, I used to do this, now I can't anymore. I'm you can't because you stopped doing it. That's what happened.
Dude, I cannot agree more with that, bro.
Steve Caballero still skating and riding, dude.
Dude, he just took a gnarly slam, and now he's still at the skate park, trying to get after it. Bro, it really is, and I've said this before on the podcast, is you can do a fad diet, you can do whatever. I don't believe in diets. If you're gonna do it, you have to change the way you're living your life, and that's bottom line. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to do it. That's just how I see it. Mm-hmm. That's how I like to live my life. It's bro, yes, I love pizza. I love beer.
Dude, I love pizza.
I love both of those things. Burritos all day.
Cali burrito.
Yo. I saw that on your body, but on Friday, meal 6.
Cali
burrito. But I love that, but at the same time, I know that I want to keep doing the things that I love. I want to skateboard. I want to run. I want to work out. And, bro, eat a salad. Eat some. Eat, rice, chicken, broccoli. Eat vegetables. Fuck with it.
Yeah.
Just balance everything.
Well, and I hope people don't ever, think I'm hating on anything I've said throughout this. It's just, how I feel about some things. But, anyone's lifestyle is their lifestyle. But, being overweight makes it harder to do stuff. And, I don't want it to be harder to walk around an amusement park, kind of thing. If I want to go walk around an amusement park for 8 hours, I want to be able to do that and not get tired. And that's just what I want to be able to do. And I want to have kids in the next few years, kind of thing. I want to be able to run and play and be an active parent, not just a one that watches, because there's too many of those. And
well, I mean, to do your hobbies too, you need to have muscles.
You
need to be able
to
take a fall.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big part.
Yeah,
too.
dude. Yeah, having muscle it saves you, because having a strong core and back, if you sneeze too hard and you have a quick twitch and your body's not used to doing anything fast because you don't move anymore, you're gonna hurt your back or something.
Dude, hurt your back sneezing.
Yeah, dude. That happens to people, and it's because they have no more. They stop doing stuff.
Bro, I can't. When I do the podcast, is the longest I sit. It's okay, after this, I need to stand up for a while, bro.
Yeah.
I can't even stand it. But dude, we did an hour 19.
Okay, that's not bad.
Dude, we usually do an hour 30. So I'd say, I think we covered a lot today. I really appreciate you coming on the show today, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's fun.
Dude, tell the people where they can find you.
At Moto and Muscle. Just keep watching on there, and that's basically my main outlet.
Dude.
I don't mess with all the Twitter and all that stuff. I try not to. I know social media is important and all that stuff. And like I do like Instagram and everything, but I don't like to take up like consume me or take up too much time. But so I just got my Insta.
All right,
guys.
All right, dude. Awesome. Give me some right here.
Thanks, man.
Peace.